Success can sometimes create distance. When a leader decides to see the truth from the ground up, they might stumble upon something they never expected. This is the story of Jake Carter, a determined and self-made entrepreneur, and how one visit to his own retail store changed everything. Jake Carter wasn't born into wealth. He grew up in a modest neighborhood, worked his way through college by juggling multiple part-time jobs, and built his retail business, Carter's Essentials, from the ground up. The company specialized in high-quality, affordable household products, and its slogan, "Made for You," resonated with families across the country. What started as a small shop in his hometown quickly turned into a nationwide chain with hundreds of locations. Yet, as the company expanded, Jake began feeling more disconnected from the day-to-day operations. His executive team flooded him with glowing reports about high profits, strong customer satisfaction scores, and efficient operations. But something didn't sit right. Numbers could be deceiving. One morning, he woke up with a nagging feeling: was everything really as good as it seemed? There was only one way to find out. Without notifying anyone, Jake decided to visit one of his stores in disguise. He swapped his tailored suit for a worn-out hoodie, jeans, and sneakers, looking like any regular customer. He chose store number 214, a location in a busy suburban area, far from corporate headquarters. As soon as he stepped inside, he took a deep breath. The scent of freshly brewed coffee from the small in-store cafe filled the air. The shelves were neatly stocked, and the store appeared clean. For a moment, he felt proud. But he reminded himself, he wasn't here to admire. He was here to observe. Jake grabbed a kitchen knife set, a pack of towels, and a box of LED light bulbs, then made his way toward the customer service counter. That's when he noticed something off. The counter, which was supposed to have a helpful associate at all times, was empty. A small line of frustrated customers had formed, waiting for assistance. Jake stepped into line, curious about how the situation would unfold. After several long minutes, an employee finally appeared, a young man in his early 20s named Brandon. But instead of apologizing for the wait or offering a warm greeting, Brandon slouched behind the counter, pulled out his phone, and sighed loudly. "What do you need?" he muttered, barely making eye contact. Jake watched as Brandon dismissed one customer's request for a refund, citing an unclear return policy. When another customer asked where they could find a specific item, Brandon simply waved vaguely toward the back of the store without looking up. When it was Jake's turn, he decided to test the service. "Excuse me," he said politely, "could you check the price on this for me?" Brandon barely glanced at him and jerked his thumb toward a self-checkout scanner. Jake thanked him and walked away, his mind racing. This was not the experience his company had promised. Was this just one bad employee, or was there a deeper issue? Determined to find out, Jake wandered into another aisle, where he spotted a middle-aged employee named Mike carefully stocking shelves. Unlike Brandon, Mike immediately paused what he was doing, smiled, and greeted Jake. "Hey there. Need help finding something?" Jake nodded. "Yeah, actually. I was wondering if you had any recommendations for durable towels." Mike's eyes lit up. "Absolutely. If you want soft and absorbent, these are great. But if you're looking for something that lasts a long time, I'd go with this set over here. Plus, they're on sale." Jake smiled. Mike genuinely cared. Curious, Jake struck up a conversation. "You seem to know a lot about this place. How long have you been working here?" Mike chuckled. "Almost 10 years. I love it, well, most of the time. The customers, the work, it kind of feels like home. But, to be honest, it's been rough lately. We're short-staffed, and some of the new hires, well, they just don't care." Jake could hear the frustration in Mike's voice. "That must be tough," Jake said. Mike nodded. "Yeah. But I do my best to keep things running smoothly." Jake thanked Mike and left the store, his heart heavy. Here was an incredible employee, loyal, hardworking, and passionate, yet stuck in the same position for years. Meanwhile, an employee like Brandon, who didn't care at all, had been allowed to coast. Something had to change. Back at headquarters, Jake dug into the data for store #214. Sure enough, complaints about rude employees and poor customer service were piling up. And one name kept appearing in negative feedback: Brandon. Jake also noticed something else. Mike had been recommended for a promotion multiple times, but due to budget constraints, he'd been overlooked. That was unacceptable. A week later, Jake returned to store number 214, but this time, as himself. He called a staff meeting and revealed his undercover visit. Brandon shifted uncomfortably in his seat, while Mike and the other employees looked curious and surprised. Jake's voice was steady but filled with emotion. I started this company with a simple idea: to make life easier for people. That includes our customers and our employees. But somewhere along the way, we lost sight of that. I saw great dedication from some of you and behavior that doesn't align with our values from others. This is a wake-up call, not just for me, but for all of us. Then, he turned to Mike. Your commitment and hard work haven't gone unnoticed. Starting today, you're being promoted to assistant manager. You've earned it. Mike's jaw dropped. Are you serious? Jake nodded, and the room erupted in applause. Then, he turned to Brandon. This company is built on respect. If you're not willing to embrace that, this might not be the right place for you. I'm giving you a chance to prove you can do better, but the choice is yours. Brandon swallowed hard and nodded. Over the next few months, Jake implemented major changes across the company: better training programs for new hires, increased staffing to reduce stress on employees, an anonymous feedback system for both customers and staff. Shockingly, Brandon took the opportunity to improve. Under Mike's mentorship, he became a more attentive and reliable employee. But more than anything, Jake learned a lesson: success isn't just about numbers, it's about people. And thanks to one eye-opening visit, he was able to set things right. That's the story, friends. If you enjoyed it, leave a comment below and let me know where you're watching from. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for more inspiring stories. Thanks for watching, see you in the next one. As months passed, the changes Ethan, now Michael, implemented began to show real results. Customer satisfaction scores improved, employee morale was higher, and the company's reputation strengthened. More importantly, Michael made it a habit to visit stores regularly, sometimes undercover, sometimes as himself, ensuring he stayed connected to the heart of his business. One afternoon, he received an unexpected email from Derek. Mr. Grant, I wanted to thank you. At first, I didn't think I needed to change. But under Todd's guidance, I saw my mistakes. I never realized how much a job like this could shape my future. I appreciate the second chance. I won't waste it. Michael smiled. Growth wasn't just about numbers, it was about people. A single visit had transformed not only his company but also lives. Looking out his office window, he felt a deep sense of fulfillment. This was more than a business, it was a family. And he would never lose sight of that again.